What is up, people? So today, my YouTube friends, followers, today I want to show you a phone that is way cheaper than the brand new iPhone, and how it makes no sense these days to pay $1,000 or $1,500 or $2,000 if you are in Canada to buy a new iPhone with a lot of storage. So Apple revealed these new iPhones, right? These magical iPhone, the iPhone XS, the iPhone XS Max, and all of this. And phones have become a joke because it makes no sense to purchase this expensive thing. Especially when technology evolves, it should become cheaper. So I'm going to show you an example. Right now on Banggood, you can buy a quad-core phone for $65, and it comes with a good display, 5.5-inch display, a 1.3 GHz quad-core. Yes, it's a 3G smartphone, but I think you can get like 4G phones for around $80, and it always goes down. 2 GB of RAM, 16 GB internal storage. This is a few years ago, you could not get this. And look at the design. It's a good looking phone. I will have it in the description of this video, but you can see it's good looking. It makes no sense to buy something or pay, let's say, 20 times more for something that does just a few other things. In general, I mean, this is all you need. It has Android 7.0. Some Mali 400 GPU, you can play nice games on that. Even TF cards support up to 32 GB. The rest you can do in a cloud storage. It even has 8 megapixel camera and a 5 megapixel camera. And I mean, this is for $65, right? Does it make any sense these days to buy a phone for $1,000 or $1,500, or as I said, in Canada, $2,250, I think it was, for the most expensive new iPhone. Look at this phone. It looks good, okay? It has all you need, sort of. And it even has a fingerprint sensor. I don't even think the new iPhone has that. So I mean, as I said, as technology becomes better, phones should not become more expensive. They should become cheaper. It should become more affordable to buy a new phone. Here you even get 3D curved edges and an elegant metal ring. And a lot of this is just showing inflation. I mean, phones should cost around this price. You can get an amazing phone. Okay, this is just $65. It's a pretty extreme example. But for just like $150, you can get an amazing phone. And I would call this a good phone. Maybe not amazing, but it's like, for most people, they don't need more than some decent thing that can run things, play some basic games, and take some simple photos, right? Most people are not gonna blow up their photos on let's say a big screen or anything. They're just gonna use it on Instagram a little bit. So I recommend for you people to check out more affordable phones. It does not make any sense to buy into this overpriced stuff. And look at all comments. Everyone is super negative. Who pays for iPhones nowadays? Apple going for kidneys with these phones. Now I can buy the iPhone 7. Joke of the year. This is way too much for a featureless device. Exactly. Budget is a thing, and who calls it cheap? Apple. What are they doing? Right. Like, it makes no sense. It makes no sense, right? It makes no sense. $1,000 versus $65 phone that basically does everything sort of you need. Because remember, people, that most of the stuff, most of the new updates these days is not hardware, it's software. So you can get it in a software update. Software is cheaper. You don't have to buy a new phone for it. So the hardware on phones these days, I mean, it looks identical. Phones looks very, very identical. You can barely notice a difference between them on the hardware side. So it's mainly the software experience that is all that it's about. So phones sort of reached a peak in 2016, and they tried to say, well, we have some magical features that you need, but it's mainly gimmick these days. Especially when competition from China is coming in and they release these devices that looks good, and no one will be able to tell a difference if it's a $1,000 phone or $65 phone. I mean, you really can't tell a difference these days on the outside hardware or with the software, because everything's getting improved, everything's getting cheaper. So yeah, quickly a video talking about that, just so you are aware. Like, there are $65 phones out there with quad core and a good display. Like, these seriously have good displays and good internal storage. Yeah, have an awesome day, YouTubers. Yeah.